Deep in the shadows, I know it's hard to put one foot in front of the other.
Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. My name is CeeChronicles. If you like fragrance reviews, you're at the right place. Please do consider subscribing and joining the family. Now, if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. I'm here to give you a sort of like a follow-up video on these three fragrances, Odyssey Limoni. These three actually new releases from Armaf of their Odyssey line, okay? They have a lot of other fragrances. So these are the ones I did reviews of at Beauty World and you guys wanted a follow-up. So I'm gonna open this one. It's not a fragrance that I've just received. This is actually about 6-7 weeks old. So we did a first impressions and this is going to be a follow-up, and I'm going to tell you whether it still smells the same or it has developed. Okay, Odyssey Limoni, and then Odyssey Candee, and then Odyssey Spectre. Okay, so let's start with the Limoni and then let me tell you my thoughts. I sprayed this one at Beauty World and I can tell you offset that it is a citric type of a fragrance, okay? But let's see whether it has changed, whether now I can pin what I kind of feel it's inspired by, if it is an inspiration. So this is a close-up presentation of this bottle, and it does say fresh edition, so you are to expect a summer tone fragrance, at least just based on those words. I'm going to give 3 sprayers into the box, or 4, right, and then tell you my thoughts. Okay, yeah, now this is certainly a fresh fragrance centered on that mandarin, sweet orange, lemon, bergamot, and a marine accord. So it's going to be water toned to an extent, making it an ideal summer scent, if you will. But with that freshness and the citric nature of this fragrance is also a spicy tone to this, which is coming off the ginger, and the ginger in it is quite prominent there, you know, making it a little bit even aromatic, even fizzy to that extent. You know what ginger does to a fragrance is exactly what I get from this. Now that I'm spraying it here at home and settled, and the temperatures are befitting, because you know, Beauty World, the temperatures were, there was just so much happening there to an extent that some fragrances were communicating, but some were just giving me, let's say for instance this one, it just gave me fresh. At this point in time, I'm going to say, in terms of what I can liken this one to, it gives me a little bit of Afternoon Swim by Louis Vuitton combined with Imagination. So this is not a fragrance I'm going to say is outright an Imagination clone or an Afternoon Swim clone. However, if you like both of those fragrances, you're going to like this particular fragrance. Spicy, piney ginger there, pronounced ginger, if you will. Moderate feel of woods, just moderate feel of woods. Certainly a summer tone fragrance, and it is unisex to my nose, because when you have a freshie, guys, it's not going to align specifically with any gender. So I'm going to put this one at unisex. I'm going to put this one at summer toned. It does somehow, though, feel as though if you did more sprays, it could be borderline pushy, but I'm just going to keep it at fresh. Okay, fresh, but depending on the number of sprays, this any age group. Okay, so that is what I can say about Odyssey Limoni from, of course, the Armaf new line. Now let me give you my quick thoughts on how this Spectre has developed. At Beauty World, I absolutely loved this one because I felt this one had more character. This one had more pages. The fact that they bottled it like this did not make it obvious, you know, just by looking at it that, okay, this is going to be a freshie or whatever. I remember saying just the pictures here reminding me of, you know, it's like a vacation kind of a thing, pine trees and stuff like that. Now let's see how, if at all, it has changed. All right, it still maintains the sweetness. It's also going to have the spices that you're going to get there. The spiciness of this fragrance is, it's reminiscent of that cinnamon, warm, spicy tone there, but it is sweet. And the sweetness, I think, is also more than just the vanilla here. If I'm not mistaken, there's also tonka added to this fragrance, and the tonka in here is certainly adding a sweetness. There's a tobacco as well listed, but the tobacco as well is sweet. Okay, it's going to be a little bit hay-like in the dry down there, a little bit hay-like but sweet. So this is going to give you sweet, 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 and then it's going to have a fruity accord there coming, of course, from the apple, and there's going to be some citruses there. So this is the one I like the most out of the 3 that I showed you, and I can almost say that even before I smell, you know, the Candee one, because we have spoken about the Candee in a lot of videos. I have spoken about the Candee, so you pretty much know, if you follow my videos, my take on that Candee. Of the 3, say they were not gifted and I was purchasing them off my own pocket, I'll certainly purchase this one. This one gives me more character. It feels like a twist on that ultra male twist, in the sense that it has a sweetness to the spices, which is something I think that pushes a little bit more further than what you get from Jean Paul Gaultier's ultra male. So this one leans more feminine to my nose, although of course a man can wear this as well if they love that ultra male. But I'm just saying the sweetness in this is a little bit amped up to an extent that I think females will like this one more. Okay, but of course it is unisex as well. I feel this one can transition through all seasons, but if you are particular and you really must know, yes, it gives me a little bit of summer there, with the potential to cross over to even fall and stuff because of those warm spices. So that's what I can say about Spectra. Moderate projection from this because it has like a lingering softness to it. It's not really beastly to my nose, but of course the wearer is going to enjoy this all through. Whether or not you're going to get compliments, I'm not sure, right? So it's the second one, Spectra, and still remains my favorite of the three, guys, from the house of Armaf. And then last on the lineup, guys, is going to be Odyssey Candee. This is the one that actually drew a lot of people's interest, simply because it mentions that candy, and who doesn't like candy? I mean, we are in a gourmand era. A lot of us are loving the gourmands there, and the Middle Eastern houses seem to have heed to the call of giving us gourmands. Now this one, yes, is going to be sweet themed, but not so much as in so sweet. Like I was expecting this being a candy forward fragrance, or being a fragrance that says candy to be candy forward. It does deliver in the sweetness, but it's not very sweet. Okay, it's going to give you a berry blast at the top there with the strawberry and raspberry mixing with the peach. Okay, so there's going to be like a nectarous top there to expect from this fragrance. Florals there, a rosy feel, and again a rosy nuance bouncing off the geranium. So it's going to be rosy there in the mid. And the base of this fragrance is going to be the musk adding a powdery accord to this fragrance. So this is certainly going to be a fruity blast of a fragrance with a powdery accord, very musky there, in the same vein as Burberry Her Elixir, a DNA that we have been given, especially by the Middle Eastern houses there. So if you were looking for an alternative, this is certainly going to do it. I don't know whether the price point is going to justify whether you need a clone or you actually need the real thing, because I believe the elixir in itself is not that expensive, considering that it's been around the block for a while. So this is just going to be dependent on whether you actually prefer the Middle East version of that fragrance, will you prefer the bottle and stuff. But yes, simply put, this gives me another take on Burberry Her Elixir. And I remember bringing that fragrance clone in the name of Rave Pink. Okay, Rave Pink also gave me a Burberry Her Elixir, and maybe a lot of people are gonna like that. I don't know. Certainly gonna appeal to the females out there, possibly because of the color. All right, they chose the color pink there, so that's gonna be a no-brainer to all the girls or anybody who loves the color pink. I've noticed a couple of channels on YouTube where they have girly stuff, they have a lot of pink stuff. So this maybe is going to be a plus in terms of the color of the bottle. But yes, simply put, it's going to be a semi-sweet serving of the strawberry, the raspberry, the peach there, the florals in the mid, and then of course the base being that musk. So this certainly hasn't changed much, guys. What I got at Beauty World is still what I'm getting here. Gourmand toned, but not 100%. So because it says candy, if you are a sucker for sweets, don't expect this one to be just candy. All right, it's going to be candy musky with a subtle sweetness there. Moderate projection is what you're going to get from this, and a feminine toned scent. Another one that's going to transition through all seasons, so no season cap for this one, guys. So yes, that is the last one of the three, and that's what I have to say about it, guys. So that's my take on the three fragrances, guys. Odyssey Limoni being an easy reach for me. I'm not going to call it my favorite because it's got that crowd pleasing fresh clean feel to it. So it's not going to be my favorite. My utmost favorite is going to be the Spectra, for those who go by nose, and this simply because I had other renditions of the Her Elixir. Is going to be an okay set for me. CeeChronicles is my name. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's meet, guys, in the comment section where we discuss more about fragrances. Remember to turn on post notifications. That way you get to be notified anytime I upload a video. Like and share this one, and remember that smelling good is a form of good manners. Cheers.